Hi there, it's me. I decided to do a different video today to celebrate 1 week from getting Brave Corrin, and that is a tier list of all the Corrins, comparing them to each other. Disclaimer before we begin, this is all my opinion. If you disagree with me, good for you. Anyways, to start, we have Vanilla Female Corrin, and she's D tier. I think is probably the worst Corrin in the game currently. Blue is the most bloated color for Corrin, having 5 units in there, and actually 6, sorry. Shit, it has 6 units. And she's not very unique amongst her color, being a blue infantry dragon, I should add. She has pretty bad stat line in general compared to her competitors, and yeah, they just do what she does but better. Next is Male Corrin, who I think is an S tier. He provides a lot of good support. He is the only red Corrin currently, and also he gets the infantry blessing. He can, in a big pickle, do attack, like he can attack and stuff, but I think he really shines because he is a support, an infantry support. And then next we have Summer Corrin. I'm gonna put her in A tier. I think she could be S tier, specifically because she's a flyer, and she gets access to both Soaring and Guidance 4. Just having really good movement shenanigans on a unit like her would be really nice. I don't expect her to do much damage, if any at all. She's really just there to be a support, and also she's the only flying Corrin currently. Then we have New Year Corrin, who I'm gonna put in B tier. I don't think he's great, but he's also the only bow unit we have for Corrins, which means he's arguably one of the best units to deal with flyers, especially if you can get him one of the arcane bows with like a infantry no follow-up. As for his color, he has to compete with 2 other Corrins, both of which are dragons, so he has a bit of leeway there since they don't fill specifically the same niche, but his stats are also holding him back, being a year 1 unit who was given out for free, and yeah, he's only in B tier because he's a bow unit. Next we have Male Adrift, who I'm also going to put in B. I could hear an argument for him in A, but I think the Adrifts and the Refine didn't quite age the best, just because there is so much DR Pierce in the game now. He has an alright stat line compared to the other blue dragons. He is a lot easier to use than some of them, I will say, which is why he'll rank slightly higher than them. Same with Adrift Female Corrin, I think she's B tier as well. She has to compete with female Ninjorin and also male Halloween Corrin in her color, both of whom, well, male Corrin specifically being probably a better tank in my opinion than her, while female Ninjorin is better offensively. Of course, she is a infantry dragon, so she does get a few things more, but I don't think she just quite matches up to them. Then we have Fallen Female Corrin, who I'm also going to put into B tier, specifically because her weapon is so hard to use, but if you can get it, it's very strong. Not being able to have anyone within 2 spaces of her, otherwise you lose out on a lot of your effects and stats. It's hard. It's hard, but it's worth it if you can get it, and then they are putting in more like 3 range things now just to help counteract all the things they put into counteract 2 space things, but you know, Say we'll do that. Next we have Fallen Male Corrin, who I'm gonna put into C tier right now. Once his Refine comes out, he'll definitely move up. I'm not sure how far, but right now his weapon and his color just don't work out that well. You can't really have more than one ally near him. And if you do have that one ally near him, I'm pretty sure he loses a lot of his effects, which, well, not a lot of his effects, but a lot of his stats, I should say. Which is rough for a unit like him, who his weapon, it's gonna make or break him, and I just think it breaks him right now. Then we have Legendary Corrin, who pre-remix, I'm gonna say she's A tier. I think Negating Thing is probably one of the best, if not the best defensive special of the game, just because it hits both ranges. It is a guaranteed 30% of her damage, and it's also a guaranteed 30% reduction, and all you need to do is beat hit. That's largely what's carrying her compared to her competitors. Also the fact that there's only 2 other colorless units, and one of them isn't a dragon. So really she only has one real competitor in her own color, but she kind of falls compared to another person we'll see on this list. Yeah, this is pre-remix. Post-remix, I feel like she's gonna move to S tier, but we're also gonna have to see what color and weapon and movement type Brave Corrin is before we can make any hasty decisions there. Next is Male Ninjorin, who I think is probably the best Corrin right now. He's one of the fastest. He also has very good bulk and also really good offenses. He doesn't really lose out on either one of them. Also, he has access to 2 different arcane weapons. And then in his color, he is the only physical infantry unit, and also the only physical one in his color as well. He can use godlike reflexes really well. He gets access to DR. Also, among the 2 that can use it, he uses godlike reflexes the best. I think he'd also use Vital Astra better even. Yeah, overall I just think currently he is the best Corrin. And then next we have Female Ninjorin. I think she is A tier. She could be low S tier, but the big issue for her right now is all of the save units in the game and their DR, and the fact that she can't get any DR pierce of her own, so things like Deflect Magic or Flames and whatnot will just kind of kill her momentum pretty fast. Amongst her color, she's the only cavalry unit, and she's also purely magical compared to the other 2, which I feel like that's more of a demerit to her, but she's also the fastest among them. She has true damage, and she hits twice. So it's give and take. She can't really get access to DR outside of Remote or Surge Sparrow right now, or Sturdy's, whatever I think Sigurd has. But even then, I don't think it would change her position that much. Yeah. Next, we have Halloween Male Corrin, who I'm gonna put as a low S tier. He has some of the highest non-special damage reduction amongst the Corrins. Actually, no, he has the highest non-damage reduction amongst all the non-specials. But his is reliant on getting doubled, which can sometimes mean issues if he can't get his special off because they have like tempo or something. Yeah, I feel like he's very reliant on his special to do damage, but if you can get him to work, I feel like he carries you better than most of the other units, most of the other Corrins, especially considering his only other real competitor in that specific niche is a Drift female Corrin. She's faster, but I also feel like she also needs her special, so it's just like I would rather have Halloween male Corrin who has a higher likelihood of one-shotting you compared to a Drift female Corrin who has a higher chance of, well, has a higher, I guess, overall bulk since she's not getting doubled as much. And then finally, we have a Halloween female Corrin. I'm gonna put her as a high A tier. Biggest issue is speed creep, and the fact that she can't get DR like male Ninjorin can, which can help with the speed checks and everything. She still has access to negating Fang. She has the flat 8 reduction in her weapon, so she is deceptively bulky, but if you can get through that with a brave weapon similar to Legendary Corrin or male Ninjorin, she's gonna feel it more than the other two will, I think. And yeah, that is the tier list. Thanks for watching. This was fun, I suppose.